Hi, my friends from room 1. So today's story is The Tiny Seed. The Tiny Seed by Eric Carle. And what do you guys see in the cover of the book? What's this? It's a flower. Good job. It's a flower, right? Look at the flower. It has petals all around, right? Some red, some orange, some yellow. And then look, the flower has a stem and the leaves. All right, so this book is The Tiny Seed. Now let's open it up and see what this book is about. You ready? Let's see. All right, let's begin. It says, it's autumn. A strong wind is blowing. It blows flower seeds high in the air and carries them far across the land. One of the seeds is a tiny, smaller than any of the others. Will it be able to keep up with the others? And where are they all going? So look, it says that it's autumn. And how do we know that it's autumn or fall? If we see the trees over here, the leaves have different colors, right? They have some green, some orange, some red, and that's how we know that it's fall. All right, and we see the seeds over here. The wind is blowing the seeds, and there's a tiny little seed all the way at the end trying to catch up to the rest of them. Now let's see where the rest of the seeds are going. You ready? It says, one of the seeds flies higher than the others. Up, up, up it goes. It flies too high and the sun's hot rays burns it up. But the tiny seed sails on with the others. So look, the seeds are going through the wind, and one of them gets too close to the sun, and the sun is really hot. But the tiny little seed, it's still right here. Look, following the rest of the seeds. Another seed lands on a tall and icy mountain. The ice never melts and the seed cannot grow. The rest of the seeds fly on, but the tiny seed does not go as fast as the other. So look, this seed landed here in the mountain where there's a lot of ice. But we know that the seeds, they need dirt, right? They need the dirt. They need rain and the sun to grow. But see, it's in the snow. And the snow is not melting, so it can't grow. Now look, our tiny little seeds all the way at the end. Now let's see where they're going next. You ready? Now they fly over the ocean. One seed falls into the water and drowns. The others sail on with the wind. But the tiny seed does not go as high as the others. So look, one of the seeds lands in the water and it can't grow, my friends. Why? Remember, seeds need dirt. And look, it falls in the water so it can't grow. But our tiny little seed friend over here is still going strong. Now let's see where they're going next. One seed drifts down onto the desert. It is hot and dry, and the seed cannot grow. Now the tiny seed is flying very low, but the wind pushes it on with the others. So look, another seed falls into the desert. Now, it's missing something. The desert is very dry, my friends. It has a lot of sun, but there's no rain. So there's no water. So remember, the seeds, they need dirt, they need the sun, but they also need water. And if it's not raining, they're not getting the water. So the seed cannot grow. But our tiny little seed friend over here is still going strong. Now let's see where they all go next. Finally, the wind stops and the seeds fall gently down on the ground. A bird comes by and eats one seed. The tiny seed is not eaten. It is so small that the bird does not see it. So look, finally, all the seeds landed in the ground, in the dirt, right? And if you see over here, our tiny little seed still right there. So the bird wasn't able to see it, so he wasn't able to eat it. All right. Now it's winter. After their long trip, the seeds settled down. They look just as if they're going to sleep in the earth. Snow falls and covers them like a soft white blanket. A hungry mouse that also lives in the ground eats a seed for his lunch. But the tiny seed lies very still and the mouse does not see it. So look, now it's winter. And how do we know it's winter? Because in the winter there's snow, right? There's snow in the winter. So look, the little mouse sees the seed and wants to eat it. But our tiny little seed friend is all the way over here, right there, and it's hiding so the mouse doesn't eat it. Ooh, let's see. Now it's spring. After a few months, the snow has melted. It is really spring. Birds fly by, the sun shines, rain falls. The seeds grow so round and full, they start to burst open a little. Now they are not seeds anymore. They are plants. First, they send roots down into the earth. The roots are down here, right? Right down here. Then their little stems and leaves begin to grow up toward the sun and air. There's another plant that grows much faster than the new little plants. It is a big fat weed, and it takes all the sunlight and the rain away from one of the small new plants. And that little plant isn't able to grow. The tiny seed hasn't begun to grow yet. It will be too late. Hurry! But finally, it too starts to grow into a plant. So look, the seeds are starting to open up. And look, first they grow in the roots down here under the dirt. And their stem begins to grow. And their leaves begin to open up, right? Their leaves are opening up. So remember, seeds need the dirt, right? They need what's this over here? It's the sun. Good. And it needs, you know where these are? Little droplets? The rain. They need water to grow. So look, they're starting to grow little by little. But see, our tiny little seed is barely growing. It's a little slow, but it's starting to grow. Let's see. The warm weather also brings the children out to play. They too have been waiting for the sun and springtime. One child doesn't see the plants as he runs along, and uh-oh, he breaks one. Now it cannot grow anymore. Uh-oh, so somebody stepped onto this little plant over here, so now it can't grow. But our tiny little seed friend's all over here. And while it's still little, like compared to the rest of them, it's still growing. The tiny plant that grew from the tiny seed is growing fast, right here. But its neighbor grows even faster. Before the tiny plant has 3 leaves, the other plant has 7. And look, a bud, and now even a flower. But what is happening? First, there are footsteps. Then a shadow looms over them. Then a hand reaches down and breaks off the flower. So this flower friend over here started growing really fast, and now it became a flower. And our tiny little seed is still growing, slowly, but it's still growing. But look, someone saw the flower and thought it was very beautiful. They decided to pick it. Oh, so look. A boy has picked up the flower. He was the one that picked up the flower over here. He picked the flower because it's nice and beautiful. And he picked up the flower to give it to a friend. He gave a flower to a friend. That's so nice of him. He picked the flower because it's nice and beautiful. Let's see. It is summer. Now the tiny plants from the tiny seeds all alone. It grows on, and it doesn't stop. The sun shines on it and the rain waters it. It has many leaves. It grows taller and taller and taller. It is taller than the people. It is taller than the trees, and it is taller than the houses. And now a flower grows on it. People come from far and near to look at this little flower. It is the tallest flower that they have ever seen. It is a giant flower. So my friends, the little tiny seed that took so long to grow, it started to grow and grow and grow so big. It was taller than the people. It was taller than the trees, and it was even taller than the house. From that little tiny little seed, this big and tall and beautiful flower came of it. Right? Because it got the dirt to grow into it. It received the sun and rain. All summer long, the birds and bees and butterflies come visiting. They have never seen such a big and beautiful flower. Can you find a flower? Where's the flower? Can you point to the flower? Right here. Good job. This is the flower. Can you find the sun for me? Where's the sun? Right here. Good job. The sun is over here. And can you find the birds? There's a red bird, a blue bird. Right? Over here. Look at the birds flying. And can you find the butterflies? See, in the springtime, we see lots of butterflies. Right over here. Good job, my friends. So look, this is our beautiful flower, right? It has the petals and the stem over here. This green line right here is the stem. And these are the leaves of the flower, the leaves. Now it's autumn again. The day grows shorter, the nights grow cooler, and the wind carries yellow and red leaves past the flower. Some petals drop from the giant flower and they sail along with the bright leaves over the land and down to the ground. So after spring is autumn or fall, however you want to call it, right? And the leaves start changing colors. They start changing colors. And now there's a big wind blowing at the flower. So now the tiny seeds that the flower has is going to start going to a new, I don't know, somewhere else. Right? Because the wind is blowing it. See? Right here. The wind blows harder. The flower has lost almost all of its petals. It sways and bends away from the wind. But the wind grows stronger and shakes the flower. Once more, the wind shakes the flower, and this time, the flower seed pods open. Out come many tiny seeds that quickly sail far away onto the wind. So the wind was blowing so hard that the pods open up, and now all these tiny little seeds come out, and the wind is blowing them away. And so my friends, we've talked about the tiny seed, right? Tiny little seed that was traveling, and so I finally found some dirt right? Because remember, flowers need dirt, they need the sun, and they need the rain for it to grow, right? And after time, the flower begins to, look over here, it begins to grow and grow and grow until it becomes a beautiful flower, right? So look, so these are the petals, right? The petals of the flower. Can you find the stem? Good. This long green line right here, that's the stem of the flower. And these are the leaves. Good job. The leaves of the flower. Good. So, I hope you like the book. And I hope you have a great weekend, okay? Kisses to everybody. Love you all and miss you.